But then after a prolonged time, for different people, different periods, 6 months, 9 months, a year of going through this consecutive stress, that's when we say you have adrenal fatigue.
Okay.
When your adrenals don't cope with this stress anymore, that's when we start craving sugar or coffee to compensate for the lack of adrenaline and cortisol that your body secretes naturally.
So I think that's what I think the next possible question is, so what are my symptoms? Oh, I've got adrenal fatigue. What are the things that are happening to my body? So I'm going to start craving things to try and up that feeling.
Yes, for sure.
And then is there anything else like physically that's happening to me?
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Questions and Answers with Dr. Daniela Steyn. I'm a medical doctor. You would have seen me on YouTube or on Instagram, and I got so many questions from so many viewers with common things, how to treat certain conditions naturally, but from a medical doctor's perspective. So I have Andrea with me here today. Thank you so much, Andrea, for joining me. Andrea is a big YouTuber. You can follow her. So today, the topic that we'll address today is a very common topic to both of us and clearly to a lot of our audience, and that is adrenal fatigue. If you watch till the end, there will be a coupon code for a big discount for my ebook specifically on how to balance your hormones naturally. So watch to the end.
Awesome. I totally want that discount code. No. Awesome.
Andrea, thank you so much for being with me today.
Awesome. It's great to be here. It's fabulous. Let's hit this thing. We need to help these people. So I think one of the big things is really understanding for me, I think, is where are the adrenals and what is adrenal fatigue?
And that's a good place to start. So you have kidneys, and then on top of your kidneys, there's these little pyramid-shaped glands that secretes hormones. Those are called our adrenals, and your body always needs to be in balance. So you have a pituitary gland in your brain, then you have your thyroid gland, and it is very closely regulated. It's your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So if one of these are out of whack, the other one would be as well. And then your body the whole time tries to keep things in balance.
Okay, that makes sense.
So those are your adrenals.
Okay, great.
Your
so
glands that secrete your stress hormones primarily.
Oh, good to know.
Yes, cortisol and adenosines, which are your stress hormones, and that's on top of your kidneys.
Okay, great. So if you are in adrenal fatigue, are those glands completely in stress? Are they like, you say your adrenals are high or low? Like, how do they work out the count?
So first of all, it's important for us to have these stress hormones. If there is a bear behind you, you need those glands to secrete adrenaline, cortisol, so you can run.
Right.
So it is quite important to have them functioning. What they do is they increase your blood pressure so that you can run. They increase your blood sugar so that you can use that sugar to run. But when we are stressed out because of a life change, like you've immigrated or you're stressed out because of news that you watch when you're sitting on the TV, in front of the TV, you're not running.
Yeah.
So you're not using that adrenaline, you're not using that cortisol, and also that higher blood sugar levels you're not using. So those higher sugar levels can then cause type 2 diabetes, heart disease, can cause cancers. And that is when we say the stress becomes unhealthy. And a prolonged experience, if this happens once, you're good. Your body knows how to respond to that. If it happens again, but then after a prolonged time, for different people, different periods, 6 months, 9 months, a year of going through this consecutive stress, that's when we say you have adrenal fatigue. When your adrenals don't cope with this stress anymore, that's when we start craving sugar or coffee to compensate for the lack of adrenaline and cortisol that your body secretes naturally.
So I think that's what I think the next possible question is, so what are my symptoms? Oh, I've got adrenal fatigue. What are the things that are happening to my body? So I'm going to start craving things to try and up that feeling.
Yes, for sure.
And then is there anything else like physically that's happening to me?
So a lot of people then have impaired sleep. Because you go into like a little kid that goes past that golden opportunity to put them to bed, and they get that second wind and they become wired, your body becomes wired. So at night you think you don't need sleep. You can just go, you have lots of energy at 10 o'clock, you're very productive, you go. And then but it's because you're now in that overdrive,
Yeah.
because you're now over your natural phase where you would have gone into sleep.
Yes.
And then some people will wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll just still be high and wired.
Wow,
So
that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, how many people do you talk to? You hear that, like, I don't sleep, or I wake, or I get my second wind. Like, I'm tired at like 10.
Yeah.
I'm like yawning, I'm tired. But if I don't go to bed by 11:30, it's like way past,
It's over.
and I don't feel good. So to your point, that's really good. Is there anything else that starts to happen?
There's different ones for some of us who just go, and we don't acknowledge things like our body needing the rest.
Yeah.
We might be getting migraines, headaches, we might just become miserable. And then at a certain point, our bodies doesn't cope. Then our body starts saying no to this continuous stress, and that looks different to different people.
Yeah.
So whatever your Achilles heel is, your weak point is, for
Yeah.
some people that can become irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes.
For some people it can be skin breakout. Different people will then have it differently.
And I can also believe, like, I know some people put on weight.
Yes, oh for sure.
Because the body's unhappy, it's imbalanced, right? So it like holds onto all the nutrition, all the everything.
Your metabolism would slow down because
Okay.
your body thinks you're in a war situation, because you're secreting these stress hormones the
Yes.
whole time. And if you're in a war situation, maybe next thing is going to be famine. So your body has to hold on. So your metabolism does slow down.
Gee whiz. Okay, so how do we prevent all of this?
Yes, so that's a big thing. First is to become aware. I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing,
Yeah.
to listen to this, to become aware, to read up. There are so many resources to become aware. Next is to really prioritize rest. It's hard for us to rest because we go. The one is, as you mentioned, sleeping 10 o'clock. Our bodies are wired to get our deepest sleep from 10 o'clock at night to 2 o'clock in the morning. To really prioritize and to be in bed that time.
Yeah.
And rather, if you've got a lot of things to do it early morning hours, get up early, than try to push through at night. So to prioritize sleep, to prioritize rest. Things like meditation, breathing exercises. With deep breathing, you stimulate your vagus nerve. When you stimulate your vagus nerve, you stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which counter your sympathetic system, which is your stress response. So then you stimulate your rest response. That makes a big difference. It's breathing exercises. I have some of that on my YouTube. Meditation, I have a whole podcast and a talk on meditation on my YouTube. And then the other thing is we talked about improving your sleep.
Yes.
And then also, we actually spoke about that. You're a yoga teacher.
Yes.
And to do an exercise or a type of movement that's good for your body. So I'm a marathon runner, I do triathlon, I like to do endurance things, but those are not the type of things to do when you have adrenal fatigue or when you have burnout, because that is too hard on your body. When you're going through this, you have to move to secrete the good hormones.
Yes.
And to use up all your stress
Yes.
hormones. So
Yeah.
to use adrenaline and cortisol,
Yeah.
you have to move, but you have to move in a gentle way. You have to go for walks. You have to go for a swim. You shouldn't do things that stress your body out.
And I think that one of the key things is that society tells us, so for instance, if you're gaining weight due to adrenal fatigue, etc., society tells us that we have to do HIIT classes and we have to hit it hard. So you kind of
Stress your
waking
body
up
more.
in the morning, having no sleep, and now it's like, guys, we're going to do 30 minutes of murder, death, kill, So like, okay, so now my body just can't pitch up for this kind of thing. I remember I saw my naturopath and she said to me, I was doing my yoga teacher training at the time. I'd come through immigration and all of this kind of stuff. And she's like, if you need to sleep at 10 a.m. and you have the privilege to do so, you're not working, do it. Take a power nap, like be kind to yourself, do the breathing, do the yoga, but then also do the sleeping and do the stuff that your body needs to just say, give me something back, So to that point, totally. Okay, great. So I'm talking about my naturopath. She also asked me to do a Dutch test. So I want you to tell your YouTube followers all about it because it's pretty cool.
Yes. So what Dutch stands for is dried urine testing, and it's specifically of your cortisol hormone.
Okay.
So our body secretes cortisol first thing in the morning to wake you up. And so people will typically, when you test their blood pressure, will have a lower blood pressure during the night and then a peak in blood pressure early in the morning to help you to wake up, to face the day. And then during the day, it will taper off.
Okay.
With adrenal fatigue, we can often see that people don't have that natural rhythm anymore. And that's the easiest way to pick that up is with hormone testing. And with the Dutch test, it's dried urine. So you pee on a lot of sticks, different times of the day, different times of the month. And then you let those urine, it's like a pregnancy test almost.
Yes.
You let it dry.
Yes, I remember doing it.
And then you can mail it away. And then they look at your hormone levels. And they plot your hormone levels to everyone else's to see that the average woman your age has this level of cortisol in the morning, and then it naturally dips, and then it has a little bit of a spike before bedtime, and then it goes down. So if yours doesn't even start high in the morning, you have adrenal fatigue. Your body just can't secrete it anymore because it hasn't. Yes. Or if your rhythm is upside down, we can see it on this urine testing.
It's amazing. You know what I find incredible is that you can tell so much just from a dry urine test. Like, that is amazing. I remember, they even talk about you can find out if somebody is pre-menopausal, post, or wherever they are. I mean, that is fantastic.
Yes.
Such a great test.
Yes, and people would often go through menopause earlier from stress. This immigration stress that you're talking about, I've seen it in so many clients who would genetically, mom went later through menopause, sisters later, but then when they come here, they would go through menopause quicker during this stressful phase, because your body is saying, I can't cope with immigration and having a baby. So your body's just, this is enough. So they stop. Same thing when people go through a significant illness or significant death in the family, that they'll go through that earlier menopause.
Wow.
But then this is a way for us to pick up where are you in your cycle. Yes, in your post perimenopausal cycle. Yes.
Okay, great. So I don't know if there was anything else from our followers on adrenal fatigue.
One of the questions a lot of people ask is which supplements can they use?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, that's a big one. So specifically if you're stressed out, magnesium. Magnesium helps everything relax.
I take it at night. I'm sure it helps me sleep.
It does. It does.
See.
It helps you relax. It helps for irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay, but what types of magnesium? Don't you get different ones?
Yes. So your cheaper magnesium supplements, the one we use in hospital is magnesium oxide. That's your least expensive one. But if you use too much of that, that causes diarrhea. So a lot of people don't tolerate that. So the best one to use is magnesium biglycinate. You can buy it on Amazon, magnesium biglycinate.
Yeah.
You can also get gummies for your kids.
Perfect.
Magnesium that you can eat, and that is not such a big laxative effect, but it helps you relax. So magnesium is one. The other one that's very helpful is ashwagandha. One that is, ashwagandha.
Yes, I've heard about it. Yes. Brilliant. Tell us.
And then, well, that's a botanical that really helps to just balance your hormones.
Okay.
Again, yes.
It's like the trending thing, like people are talking about it. I need to go get some of that. Yes. And then what else?
And vitamin C is a natural antioxidant, and vitamin B. So those are two good ones to help boost your body while healing from burnout.
Okay, fantastic. So you know what? One of the questions I often get asked just by random people is, if I go to Nature Source, I go to a place and I go pick up vitamin C and I pick up B6, B12, and I've got this, like, can I overdose on any of this stuff?
Yes,
how do I do it? How do I make sure that I'm taking the right products? Maybe if you want to, we can put in the description of your YouTube video and maybe some specific products. What are your thoughts?
Yes, but in a short summary, your body secretes most of the vitamins through your urine, because most of water soluble. Vitamin A, C, A, D, E, and K is not. So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K, those four are fat soluble. So if you get too much, you'll store it in your fat, and that can become toxic.
Okay.
So for those ones, you must really read on the bottle what it says.
Sure.
And then you'll be safe if you read what it says on the bottle. Your doctor can test your vitamin D levels. Everyone coming to Canada has to be on a vitamin D supplement every day.
Yes.
For your kids, 1,000 units of vitamin D daily. For adults, 2,000 units vitamin D daily. If you're worried if it can be too much, your doctor can easily test blood levels for that. And that's a big one. So vitamin D, it's not just our happy hormone.
No.
But also it helps to build calcium into your bones to prevent osteoporosis 40 years from now.
Yes. Yeah. Every time my doctor, in the 5.5 years I've been here, I've been tested twice. I'm just like, check my vitamin D, because I every now and then I'm like, I'm not feeling so great. Every single time. And I'm in the sun or whatever. I take my vitamin D. My vitamin D levels are still below average.
See, but that brings us to a next one. No, it brings us to a next one. It could be that your body's not absorbing it good enough because you might have leaky gut. So
yes.
let's talk about leaky gut, because we've got so many questions from our listeners on leaky gut. So we can chat about that in our next YouTube video. For all our YouTube listeners, viewers that watch to the end, my coupon code to get a discount for my How to Balance Your Hormones Naturally ebook is Balance 2022, like the year 2022. So it's capital letters Balance 2022, and the link for the ebook is in the description below. And you can go through that book, and it's going to be a game changer for you, how to balance your hormones naturally.
Amazing. So cool.
See you in the next one. Take care.